The fact that you're saying it abhi, I'm like, right, okay.
इन तीनों में से एक चीज तो होता है.
हाँ, दो होती है, एक सेंटर वाली चीज थैंकफुली नहीं होती है.
हाँ, मतलब वो ऐसे फूलों में छुपा देते हैं.
हमारी UA फिल्में होती हैं. हाँ. So good.
तो जितना उसके इर्द गिर्द हम दिखा सकते हैं, it is around that. When you look back at where you're sitting today, does it feel like you've come a really long way?
It does feel really long. I think the sheer experiences of different films and the sheer gap between the films. I mean, I did LSD about 8 years back and I'm working with Raj and Ekta Kapoor because they were a combination in LSD then. 8 years later. And it's quite uncanny, but ऐसा कुछ था नहीं कि हमने क्यों collaborate नहीं किया या क्यों picture नहीं बनी, पता नहीं. For all I know, LSD 2 बना लेते हैं, like you know what I mean. But हुआ ही नहीं. एक होता है I think in the industry कि जब कुछ चीजें सही पड़ जाती है और हो जाती है तब हो जाती है. But this 8-year gap also now, I mean, for me to think, I was like 8 years back I did it, like that long back. I was like, what? No. Suddenly I realized कि oh अच्छा इतना time हो गया है. But yeah, it's been a long journey.
I think all your leading men should really thank you.
Really?
When they start their journeys, initial journey with you, look where they are today.
Well, look at 2 of them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 of them for sure.
But when I met Raj, I think that's the first thing the 2 of us had when we saw each other. We had this smile on our face and we were like, what's up? Like, how are you doing? It's amazing to see how Raj has made his journey and how he's come from LSD to one film to another, to great characters, to great films, to national awards, and now suddenly in this space where Stree is done like 100 crores. I mean, I just feel like certain stories are seriously to be written down as inspirations in a book. Like, that this is how it was done.
Tell us about what you went through.
In fact, even for LSD, I was rejected. I was not cast for the film. There was somebody else cast for the film. And here luck kind of played in, where the girl who was cast for my part, she left the film for something else. And then they didn't have too many days because 10 din mein shoot thi. So they went back to audition tapes. And somebody watching the audition tapes in that room said that, why don't we look at her? Out of nowhere. I mean, if he had not taken my name, they would have moved on to the next audition tape. And the Bharuccha said, I don't know, maybe. And I said, let's call her. Let's kind of workshop with her and then maybe. I was called back and I'm in my house chilling, no idea. I'm still studying. I'm, really young, no clue of what to do in films. And ठीक है, audition दिया, नहीं call आया. Didn't really put too much thought to it. They called me back. I did workshops. And in 3 days, they were like, okay, cool, we'll shoot with you. So I never understood what the deal was. But I said, okay, I'm getting to act. I'm getting to do a film. And I don't know what is it going to be. No clue. We'll do it. From LSD itself, like the minute the film did what it did, I had papers and journalists and people wanting to come to my house at unseen times and saying that we want to still do a bite with you. And I said, but I'm not there. Like I wasn't in town. And so I've had people come to me, people call me. That adulation at that point, I felt like I've made it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, this is it. I'm here. Like cool now. And it was given to us on a performance.
Yeah.
So I felt that, it doesn't matter that I'm this tiny petite person or this is my height or for that matter that I don't have anybody else in the industry supporting me or I don't have a, like a commercial film to say. I said, this is kind of putting out my own personal work out there and this will give me further way and I will have my own path and nothing happened. They all met, they all said good things and they all forgot me.
And they moved on.
They all moved on. Didn't understand why. I thought if you praise someone that much and if you like their work that much, you'd work with them. You'd call them again, cast them, something. Nothing. And I remember when I got a call for Bharuccha Panchnama, Vicky, the casting agent, had called me and said, Kumarji and I want to do a meeting. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do commercial films. I mean, in my head, I'm like, I like what I did in LSD. Why? Because I got that pat on the back for it.
Yeah, critics.
So I said, I want to do films that have some meaning and something. I don't want to do a comedy and, around this relationships and love. I don't want to do it. They said, no, come and hear it. Why don't you do it? I went, I heard it. I had my journey on that film. But I remember thinking, और कुछ नहीं है तो यही कर लो. कुछ तो करो. Can't LSD release, it's been a year. कुछ तो you have to do something, right? Yeah. So I said, okay. Somehow they convinced me. I did Bharuccha Panchnama. film just did something else. Again, I'm sitting and thinking, oh, okay, now I've arrived. Like I had people from Viacom did the films. I had people from Viacom who've seen the film in screenings and all. They came to me and they said, now you've arrived. And this line of now you've arrived is it's a thing in the industry that people say.
अब तो बस.
अब तो बस. But वो जो बोल के जाते हैं, उसके बाद पता नहीं चलता उसका मैं करूँ क्या? मतलब okay, but काम, where is it? Like what do I do?
काम दो मुझे.
Again after PKP1, it was like you've arrived, and I said, very good, mind blowing. Let's now do something. Somehow there was a script, Akashvani, which was something that was in conversation before PKP1. And because PKP1 did well, me and Karthik did well, and our names, and Devendu, and we all got talked about, Akashvani got set up. That film flopped.
Yeah.
There, that's reality right there in my face. I've hit rock bottom, and how. I had lost faith as an actor. I had lost faith as a performer. I think I had lost faith as a person only. I said, I can't act. I don't think people want to watch me act. I did that comical role in which I'm nothing like that girl from Neha from Pyar Ka Panchnama. People love that. And where I actually put in my emotions and my blood and sweat and did a film which had a really strong subject, people don't want to talk about it. It's behind the doors and inside the closet sort of conversation. We brought it out front. I was proud of it, and they don't like me. They rejected it. I remember it was the first time ever I was in Kumarji's office. The film had definitely been taken out. It ran for 4 days. It came out on Thursday. It didn't even run till a full Friday. And I've cried in his office because I just got so emotional. I said, I'm so sorry you lost money because of me. I mean, there were a lot of people in the film, but I felt like I lost this money, like this money that was invested on me. And I took it on myself to perform this role, and I gave it like a whole year and a half of my life, and it didn't work. And I said, I'm so sorry. I said, sir, please, आप क्या अगली picture कर लो, मैं उसमें से ले लो आप. But like I don't know how to get this money back to you in some way. I just feel really bad that you lost money on Ani. I said, please, like some way I need to repay this because I feel like I failed. Like people didn't come to watch the film. Maybe I didn't perform it right. And the worst thing that happened to me, I was in Delhi visiting some friends, and my friends' parents wanted to watch the film. It was running in one theatre, I don't even know which theatre. And they said, come, you're here, why don't we go watch the film together? So I said, okay, and there were auntie, uncle. I said, sure, come, I'll take you to watch the film. So I'm sitting in this theatre, nobody knows I'm in the theatre, obviously, like I've somehow gone there. And I'm sitting, and uncle, auntie are sitting with me, and there were a bunch of 5 boys sitting behind me. And they have had a live commentary of every shot and scene of thrashing us. And auntie, uncle are turning to me and holding me and saying, it's okay, beta, don't listen to them. And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
God, that's savage.
I mean, I'm crying there and they're calling me names. And they're saying, oh, what is this drama? What is she doing? And I'm like, okay, somebody just stop the screen or something. Or I should just disintegrate here. So for 2.5 hours, they've gone on and on about how bad the film is and what they don't like. And the only time they enjoyed it is when we made some jokes about certain fun jokes. Is the only thing they enjoyed about the film. Of course, then when the film got over, they got up and I just stared at them straight, and then they realized it was me and they didn't know where to hide, so they ran. But I couldn't move from that seat. The theatre got empty and I just kept sitting, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to stop. I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think any actor should go through that. I don't think you can sit in the theatre and watch being thrashed right there. Like, it was just too heartbreaking.
Difficult.
So yeah, difficult times. Then PKP2 happened. Happier times. Life came back. But somewhere I felt that maybe my understanding of things is not the way audiences and the industry works. I think that's why I kind of I extend that hand of faith or whatever, that I say, I'm trusting you with it. Why don't you tell me what you want to do?
Yeah.
Why don't you say which film and which role and how you want to do it, and let it come out like that. I think maybe if I do it solely on my own sensibilities, I might go wrong. So that failure made me question my own sort of,
your instinct.
And I said, let's just play it to the gallery. I mean, let's just do that. So PKP2 for me was playing it to the gallery. I mean, I felt like...
You're like, I'm going to give this one shot, whatever they tell me to do, I'll do it.
Yeah.
how much of a toll does it take on your mental health? Like, you said, like, I felt like everything around me, and I'm not going to work. I'm not going to make it. Like, how did you come out of that zone and then enter PK, this Pyar Ke Pachna Part 2?
It took time. It took a lot of time. I think that 1 or 2 years after Akashvani, till PKP came out, because even while I was shooting it, I was quite disturbed. It's only when the film did well and that we were back in the game, so to say, is where I was like a little secure and calm. And so those 2 years were difficult. It took time. It taught me something that everybody will tell you, but you can't learn it. You have to experience it. You have to go through the grind. Is just to have a mental temperament, to kind of control your own mind, to kind of control your own emotions. And I'm very emotional, I'm very sensitive. Like, I'll start crying in the drop of a hat. So I think those 2 years, it was my own personal struggle to pull myself out of it. Because everybody was there. My parents were there, my family was there, my friends were there, and they were all saying very constructive things and positive things. They were being supportive, that it's all right, it's fine. But they would not know what I'm actually dealing with, and it was only me who could help myself. And I did it. Various sleepless nights, various days of absolute can the day just turn into night quickly? Can it just go past? Because I have nothing to do in the day. It just made me a stronger person, I think, mentally and emotionally. I felt like if I can pull myself out of this, then I've equipped myself to kind of deal with more things in the future. I think it's part of growing up. Maybe I grew up earlier, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me really what did you do, I can't even go back there to tell you, because there was a lot of doing nothing. There was a lot of emptiness. There was a lot of, I have no clue.